What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, check this thing out. Five Nights at Freddy's, which is right now absolutely dominating the box office this weekend. It's absolutely crushing it. You can see right here on this headline by Deadline, Five Nights at Freddy, $78 million, busting all sorts of opening records, best for Halloween. It's a Peacock day and date release. That means you could actually watch this on Peacock at home. You don't have to go to the theaters, and it's still making bank. This is absolutely insane. This is the box office update. Before we get to that, I want to go ahead and talk about this film because I watched this film and I'm going to tell you guys, this is not at all what I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be like a movie about animatronics slaughtering people, which technically it is, but there's so much more to it. There's way more plot here than it actually needs to have. So I was actually surprised by that. That's a good thing. It's also kind of a bad thing in a certain sense. It's good because it tells a story. It gives us characters that we can become invested in. It actually made me care about the main character a lot more than I expected to care about this cat. And it goes into like this interesting, spoilers by the way, if you don't want to be spoiled, turn away. It goes into like this interesting ghost story. The lore actually surrounding this is really well done. It's very interesting. I'm not sure if this is the lore to the video games. You know, again, I've seen this video game. I watch my kids play the game. You know, I didn't realize there are a lot of video games connected to this franchise. This is a huge franchise. I wasn't aware of how many games there were. I thought there were a couple. Yeah, there's a ton. And there's novels and everything else. So it actually is cool that they built this lore into this game and it kind of carries through the entire film. And it 100% works on that level. Absolutely. Now, what's bad is it does kind of take a while to get up to the animatronics. It takes a while to dive into the actual horror elements of a horror movie. You know, that's normally not a good thing when your horror is taking a back seat in a horror film. And the character development and the lore and the world building and the plot and all of that stuff is standing on the forefront and the horror is just kind of hidden in the back. That's never a good thing for a horror film, but at the same time, you consider it works. It actually works in this film. And it is a PG-13 film, so it's clearly aimed at younger audiences. It, in my opinion, is a good gateway horror film. If you have some youngsters and you're getting them ready for Halloween, what can I put on for the kids that the kids will enjoy? Put on Five Nights at Freddy. It's not too crazy. It's not too scary. It's not too bloody. It's not going to give them like all kinds of crazy nightmares. It's actually decent. I would say over the age of 8. Over the age of 8. Throw it on with the kids, you know, have a bunch of kids over, popcorn, blankets, and all that stuff hanging out on the couch. Perfect. Perfect horror film, gateway horror for youngsters. I still say the best gateway horror, in my opinion, is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. That was back in 2019. Great gateway horror film for young kids. If you're a horror fan and you're a parent and it's like, man, I want to watch horror movies with my kids, but I'm not trying to throw them into Jason and Freddy yet. This would be a good one, and also Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. So let's jump in and let's check out what the box office is looking like for this thing. Yeah, it says Five Nights at Freddy is meeting the expectations of all those crazy projections that were out there. I guess it had a 3-day projection of 68 million, and now they're bumping that up to 78 million for the weekend. Some people are saying it might even get to Oppenheimer's opening weekend of 82.4 million. Not that the movie will leg out north of 300 million in the end. Yeah, it probably won't do all of that. But still, even if it gets to this number, that's amazing. We've been talking about the Marvels, we've been talking about the Hunger Games, and they aren't expected to come close to this. Or maybe a slightly close, but this actually might hit 80 million for the fact that it is now projected to get to 78 million and possibly 80 million. And again, keep in mind, day and date on Peacock. Folks can stay at home and just get a subscription to Peacock and watch it at home on Peacock. And it's still making this kind of money. That tells you, hey, look, they are tapped into the fans. Listen, Universal right now, and Blumhouse, but Universal specifically is tapped into what people want. They understand the audience way better than Disney, maybe even way better than Warner Brothers at this point. They understand their audience. Once again, look, a take of a video game. We just saw Universal do a great job with the Super Mario Brothers. You know, and along with Illumination, Universal has an understanding of what people are looking for. They're not like getting tripped up. They're putting out the content that people are wanting. They're not even spending a lot of money on it. I think Five Nights at Freddy was only a $20 million budget. Think about that. $20 million budget. They're going to already make all of their money back and be in the black by the end of this weekend, just domestically. We aren't even talking about international numbers. That's truly impressive. Yeah, that's what it says here. It's fun to see how Universal is in its marketing, literally repeating that type of moviegoer turnout again. Another title here that's harnessed the spirit of the fans. They understand the spirit of the fans. They know what the people are looking for right now. I hope the rest of Hollywood is starting to take note. Hey, maybe we should do what the fans have been asking for instead of listening to all of these talking heads and critics and everything. Because look, check out what the critics have been saying. Yeah, look at the tomato meter over here on the left, right? 26% on Rotten Tomatoes. You got a nice little green splat. Meanwhile, over on the right, oh, we got 90% healthy bucket of popcorn. The audience is absolutely loving this thing. Look at the difference. That's what I've always said about this huge gulf between what the critics think and what the audiences want. It's a huge gulf. This is, what is this, like a 64% difference between the critics and the audience. And you know what? I hope studios are starting to wake up and pay attention. Hey, what is it that these critics are talking about? And then what does our audience want? Because it's the audience that matters if you want to make money. If you're trying to make some artsy-fartsy projects to win awards, okay, listen to the critics. But if you want something that is going to make you some money,
listen to the fans.
Listen to the fans. Let's go on. Friday for Freddy is 39.4 million, including the 10.3 million in Thursday previews. That is insane. Sources always told us it was front-loaded, and the outlook is a 39% drop today, which is close to what Twilight did on its Friday to Saturday. That said, Freddy skews more male, 57 to 43% female. It's clear the under 24 set at 80% doesn't know or doesn't care that this movie is on Peacock to watch at home. They don't care. They want to see, look at this. They want to see this movie together. Again, when you build it, they will come. Give people what they want, and they will flock to it. They don't care that it's on Peacock. They don't care that it's on Peacock. We want to sit in the theaters with all of our friends. We want to flock to this thing. It's an event for them. It's the same exact mindset that came behind Barbie, the same exact mindset that came behind Super Mario Brothers. That's why those films are successful. Events. You make an event film, everybody's going to come and flock to it. Five Nights at Freddy, again, I knew it was popular. I knew it was huge. I just didn't realize how huge this thing is. All of the video games and the novels and everything else. It has an enormous fan base. And they were smart. They took their time. They didn't rush it. I think this thing has been in development for at least 6, 7, 8 years, something like that. They took their time, slow walked it, got the story right, got the right actors, got the animatronics to look good. I mean, the movie looks great. I recommend anybody, even if you're not into like the video games, the horror aspect of it does work. Again, it just takes a slight backseat. But like I said, man, the box office shows you, hey, you just got to tap into what the fans are looking for and just listen to the fans for once.
Really listen to the fans.
And you can't go wrong. Some estimate that Peacock in its day and date of the movie could have stolen around 10% of Freddy's box office potential, and that it might lead to a big drop next weekend. I mean, it might. But, I mean, perfect for Halloween. Now the kids got something to watch over Halloween together. They'll go watch it in the theaters. And then at all the Halloween parties all over the country, everybody's going to probably have Five Nights at Freddy on. However, Universal even surprised themselves with their expectations here. They always thought it was a niche play, hence why the pick went on Peacock. Despite any forecasts about next weekend's drop for Freddy, a massive 42% said they'd like to see the movie again in theaters versus watching it at home. Honestly, this is a very rewatchable film. I'm definitely probably going to check it out again within the next couple of days. It's very rewatchable. And, you know, the fact that 42% are saying, oh, we'll go see this again in theaters. Because, again, it's an event. It's something for them to do together. All the laughs. And there's tons of comedy, like unintentional comedy, and also some intentional comedy that's in this thing. So, I mean, again, another great job by Universal. Knocking it out of the park in the box office. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, this is just for yesterday, but 39.4 million, finally toppling all of it. Look, I mean, it's just dominating. Like, there's nothing even close to it. You know, finally toppling Taylor Swift and Killers of the Flower Moon and everything else is down. Look, this film right here, Five Nights at Freddy, phenomenal start, and just showing that fans matter. What we want matters, and it should matter to Hollywood. And take your time. Give us what we want. We'll reward you with a big box office. You give us some trash like Disney has been giving us with Marvel lately. You know, DC just giving us some slop. Or we're just going to reboot the whole universe. Yeah, okay, yeah, we're not showing up for this. You give us what we want, and you listen to what the fans have to say. You're going to get rewarded even when you do a day and date release. That's all you need to know, folks. So anyway, you guys let me know what you think about this. I enjoyed the film. It's not the greatest, horror film in the world, but I enjoyed it. I absolutely had a good time with it. And I think a lot of folks out there, if they give it a chance, they'll enjoy it. And it actually gets me thinking, okay, what would be next for this? Can they continue to build on the story that they told in this film and stretch it out with the lore? I'm actually interested. I'm going to start maybe looking at some of those video games and seeing if there's a lot of lore here that, in world building to this franchise, because this is actually pretty dope. What I got out of this, again, it's not a great film, but what I got out of this was very satisfying. And that's all you can ask for. But you guys let me know what you think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.